What's up YouTube, CharminEXSoft here bringing you my spoiler-free honest review of Rage 2. But before I tell you my thoughts and opinions on the game, let me just give you some information about it. Rage 2 is a first-person, single-player, post-apocalyptic shooter game developed by Avalanche Studios in conjunction with ID Software and published by Bethesda Softworks. It is in fact a sequel to the original Rage title, which was released back in 2010 and was developed by ID Software as well. Now, I feel it's also important to note, as it's probably a common question for a lot of people, that no, in my opinion, you do not need to play the first Rage title to understand this one. See, although it is a sequel, it's also set 30 years in the future after the events of Rage 1, and because of Rage 1's very simplistic story, it's really easy for them to sum up these events that occurred 30 years ago for new players in a matter of seconds with the opening cutscenes of Rage 2. So it's just easy for anyone to just go right ahead, new players, old players, it doesn't matter, just pick it up and jump right in and start playing. Now, in Rage 2, you play as a ranger named Walker, which can be either male or female. The choice is yours at the start of the game, and right off the bat, you're thrown directly into combat as the Authority, led by General Cross, has returned once again with its mission to rid the world of those it deems weak or who would stand against their rule. As a new ranger, your mission is simple. Find the remaining arcs spread across the Wasteland to retrieve the nanotrites and weapons locked inside to boost your abilities, all while trying to find 3 of the original founders of Project Dagger to help destroy the Authority once and for all. Now, once you head out on your adventure, the Wasteland itself kind of becomes your own open world playground of sorts, with lots of things to do, including like completing main or side quest missions and helping the townsfolk, racing vehicles against other Wastelanders, both in the open world environment or even on like racetrack competitions, or searching for more hidden arcs to upgrade your abilities or find new weapons and using them in the campaigns and whatnot, or even competing in the Mutant TV game show, which makes a return from Rage 1. Although there may be a lot of things that you can do in the game's Wasteland, there really seems to be a disconnect, though, in my opinion, in some of the reasoning behind it all. Simply put, it really all begins to feel mostly kind of like busy work, something that the developers just put in the game to try to extend the length of this short story campaign. Like, you can complete this game, in my opinion, in about 10 to 12 hours or less if you just disregarded everything else in the world and focused solely on the main story missions at hand. See, to complete the game, all you have to do is complete about 3 to 4 missions apiece for each of the original Dagger founders that you're sent to find through your main mission here, and then you perform like the simple busy work just to level them up to level 5 before each one of them will give you a final mission. And then after you complete those final missions, now you can go ahead and just do the main game's final mission, and the game is over and that's it. And then getting the 3 Dagger founders levels up to level 5, that right there is pretty laughable, as I noticed just by venturing into the Wasteland and exploring random locations as I came across them, not really exploring to look for them, but as I came across them just by doing my main missions that were given to me, like, I already got all 3 Dagger founders to level 5 before I even completed the first Hound's campaign missions, or even meeting the other 2 founders, which to me is kind of crazy. That blows my mind. How do you actually level up the other founders who you've never met? I don't know, but that's the way it works. So sure, I mean, in Rage, you can find other vehicles in the Wasteland and return them to the towns and store them in your garage so you can use them later, but there's no real reason to do this, as you can't upgrade them, just like, you know, your main vehicle, which can be upgraded. The ones you find in return cannot be upgraded, and I personally found that recovering them all felt, you know, made me feel kind of cheated afterwards. Now, I mean, you don't even get a game achievement just for finding every single vehicle in the game, which another thing kind of blows my mind. And sure, you can also, you know, help the townsfolk completing side missions or doing all these little things that people have problems with and whatnot, but, you know, personally completing them and helping them out, you're barely even rewarded for such actions, and oftentimes, you know, you're just completing these quests and they simply just say thank you and send you on your way. As for competing in races, now to me, that can actually be pretty cool. if you enjoy racing games, I think you may like this part, but I also feel that Rage 1 had a much better racing system in place with a lot more to offer, including more tracks and racing modes and things of that nature. They even allowed you to kind of like race and battle with weapons the entire time, which was pretty cool on some of those tracks. But in Rage 2, they don't really have all this in my experience. As one of the things I simply did not enjoy about the Rage 2 racetrack was that you were only able to compete with one specific vehicle, which you unlock simply by completing your first circuit race. Then every race after that, you were awarded a new skin, and for some reason it kind of looks like, at least to me, that it said that you unlocked a new track as well, but each time I talk to this track master, you just get thrown back into the same exact race without really seeing any kind of options or ways to select any new tracks or types of races to compete on. I don't know if this was just a glitch or if I was doing something wrong, but after running the same race repeatedly over and over, hoping for a way to just kind of play a new track or a new mode, I was sadly disappointed and frustrated and just ended up giving up, racing in the end. As for competing in Mutant Bash TV though, this is actually pretty fun, as each Mutant Bash TV location has different events to choose from, ranging from mutant horde modes and even mutant skeet shooting. But sadly, after completing all of these things, you're just awarded with Mutant Bash TV coins, which can be exchanged at the Mutant Bash TV vendors for some mediocre items that can also be purchased at any regular town for regular cash. So there is some incentives though to Mutant Bash TV, because there is some exclusive Mutant Bash TV weapon skins, which do look kind of cool that you can buy with those tokens, but you really can never show them off to anyone since the game is purely a single player experience. So it's kind of like, hey man, I got this really cool skin, but you'll never see it because it's single player. So it's kind of like, what's the point in even worried about weapon skins? But where this game fails with the boring side missions and the busy work just used for leveling and extending the game's length, in my opinion, the one thing this game does do correct is its use of gunplay, as your weapons and abilities can all be customized and upgraded throughout your play with some snappy, fast-paced, in-your-face, close-quarters epic combat action that'll leave you wanting to play more. See, Rage 2 has no long-range weapons in it like sniper rifles, for example, because of its heavy focus on close-quarters action and your Mass Effect style ranger abilities, which add a really fun and exhilarating element to this game. Another thing that makes the game's combat so great is its variety of different enemy types with different attack patterns and abilities ranging from all different shapes and sizes. And even the game's soundtrack itself is amazing, with the loud hard rock raging music playing in the background while bullets are flying and mutant heads are popping off. It kind of gives you the feeling like you're playing Doom at times instead of Rage, and I personally am debating on finding and buying this soundtrack if it is available, just to kind of rock out to it, because I'm telling you, it's really that good. The soundtrack is epic. Now, visually, in my opinion, the game looks pretty decent, with only a few minor issues here and there with the textures that I noticed, and I'm happy to announce that I never came across any real big glitches in the game, except for maybe like the funny boot glitch that I come across every now and then, but it does not affect my gameplay in any way, and it only seemed to happen after I did a ground pound attack, which I found hilarious because it made me feel like I was hitting enemies so hard that they were just getting blown out of their shoes. But with all this said and done, my review, thoughts, and opinions of Rage 2 are pretty average. It's not a bad game per se, in my opinion. It's just that I really felt a huge disconnect with the game's story and the busy work and everything like that, leaving me with a not so memorable experience, as I personally was expecting a lot more from this game, because even Rage 1 I didn't really care for as much. I thought this was going to kind of go epic and just kind of blow the roof off of everything. I mean, it looked amazing and I just thought it was going to be epic. But I mean, there's going to be people who for sure really enjoyed this game, and that's cool. I mean, I'm happy if you personally enjoyed it, but for me, in a nutshell, this game is just a shooter with some epic gunplay, and that's about it. So if what you're looking for is kind of like a time killer type game that's a single player shooter, then Rage 2 is definitely for you and you should pick it up. But if you want anything other than that, like a great meaningful story for example, then I personally would look somewhere else, as I don't believe you'll find it here even after completing all of the busy work, side missions, and other activities like I did, putting in just over 20 plus hours into the game before finally finishing the last campaign mission and watching the credits roll by. It's just sadly a swing and a miss for me, but hey, maybe it won't be for you. This is just my honest review on the game, and your taste might be different from mine. Now, if after this review you want to try this game out, that's completely up to you. I'm just here to share my thoughts and opinions on the title so you can make a better informed decision regarding your purchases, and maybe I can help you save a buck or two down the road. And for those of you who would like to purchase this title after hearing my thoughts and opinions on it, I have added this title to my Amazon affiliate page, so if you intend on picking it up physically, then I encourage you to go ahead and use my link below when purchasing, as a small percentage of your purchase will go back to the channel, which will be used to help us grow more in the future. And if you've already played this title before, or you just wish to leave us a comment, please feel free to do so below and let us know how you enjoyed the game or how you enjoyed my review. I'm CharminEXSoft, signing out. Hey everybody, once again, thanks for watching my video, and if you enjoyed it or found it helpful, then please don't forget to slap the like button, as every like continues to help the channel grow. And if you haven't already and you wish to subscribe for free or become a paid member of the Charminati, then please feel free to do that as well, and don't forget to ring that notification bell and follow us on Twitter so you can get notified the second my new videos go live. As always, I'm CharminEXSoft saying thanks for watching, and y'all come back now, you hear?